It's almost here, Xavier. It's almost here. The 2025 NFL football season. What's going on, man? How you been?
Man, I'm good. I'm happy some football is back. They in pads. Been paying attention to training camps. Brian Branch, St. Brown going at it. The shuffling of the offensive line with the rookie Ratledge and Graham Glasgow. Don't know who's gonna have right guard, center, all of that. Dan Campbell at the podium talking this stuff. Don't know if they're gonna pay Alex Anzalone. It's a lot of stuff going on, man. I'm just happy to be able to watch it. It's a beautiful thing. Football is back, baby.
Hey, we're definitely getting there. And to all you listeners and all of our subscribers, this is the Heartland Huddle, Chiefs, Lions, and NFL talk. And what Xavier was just describing there and what we're so geeked up about is the 2025-2026 NFL football season training camp episode as all 32 teams are back in action, which excites us, which provides us with a lot to talk about off-season things. If you want, you can check back our free agency episode to kind of check both teams' drafts and free agency moves that we made. But now it's all about just getting out there on the field, Xavier, getting those pads on, hitting somebody, and gearing up for the season.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. So,
Yes, sir, it is.
obviously coming into each training camp every year, of course, there's tons of different storylines. And we picked out just a couple with our respective teams, the Lions and the Chiefs, of course. But we go around the NFL. It is the Chiefs, Lions, and NFL talk here on the Heartland Huddle podcast. Speaking of that, subscribers, listeners, new listeners, catch us every Wednesday with a new episode here on our YouTube channel. You can catch us every Wednesday on Spotify as well at Heartland Huddle. You can also search on YouTube at Heartland NFL Talk. Catch us every week. Subscribe to our channel, like and subscribe, show your love and support, and engage with us in the content. So here we go. So Xavier, let's just kind of dive right into it. Like we talked about, we've got plenty of stuff going on, but I wanted to kind of start with Kansas City here real quick.
Hmm.
Coming off of a tough Super Bowl loss, of course, absolutely got dominated by the Philadelphia Eagles. And the main thing in that Super Bowl was the offensive line play. As we all know, it was a revolving door for our left tackle. All season long, we ended up moving our left guard, Joe Tooney, to the left tackle spot, but it didn't matter against Philadelphia. They dominated us on both sides of the ball in the trenches. So, everything so far out of camp, our first round draft pick, Josh Simmons, the left tackle out of Ohio State. Everything is reported, looks to sound good. What do you think of Simmons so far in camp?
I like him. I think he'll work out. I think with certain players, when you go to certain teams and you play with certain quarterbacks, you already coming with that mentality, that physicality. You already know to get up to NFL speed from college speed. Just the mindset is already there.
Yeah.
And they picked him for a reason, and he gets to play with, arguably the best quarterback in the league right now. So I think he'll be a great addition to as far as being a left tackle for Patrick Mahomes, protecting that blind side.
Yeah, I agree. And we all know something that's been missing out of the Kansas City Chiefs offense the past few years is of course the big play threat. We went and drafted Xavier Worthy out of Texas last year. He was supposed to be that guy. Rice goes down. He's now got to come down and be more of an intermediate pass catching wide receiver. Now Rice is
Mhm.
back healthy with a suspension looming. We can get into that later. We've talked about that, but suspension looming. However, Xavier Worthy can move back out to that outside spot and be that deep threat. And if we do have a solid left tackle, excuse me, then of course I think that's going to give Mahomes more time to throw, and Mahomes more
Yeah.
time to throw is a danger for all of the defenses. Now, interestingly enough, too, Xavier, if you remember, we went out and got Jalen Moore, excuse me, the backup tackle from the 49ers in free agency.
Uh-huh.
Jawan Taylor's battling a hamstring or a groin injury, I believe. So I think Jalen Moore is going to start on the right side. And day one, that rookie left tackle, Josh Simmons, is going to start on that left side. So it'll be interesting to
Yeah,
see.
yeah. Yeah, absolutely. But I have something I want to say or a question.
Sure.
I was just watching something. What do you think that the Chiefs can enhance their run game this season? Because I read somewhere where they were 23rd in rushing, averaging about 5.1 yards per carry. Do you think that can increase this year with a healthy offensive line and healthy running backs?
Yeah. I do.
with the threat of the receiving game.
Yeah, I do. And we talk about it all the time, particularly with the Lions. We talk about complementary football all the time. You have to be able to do both. I'm a big believer, run the football first, control the clock, and then if you need to pull out the big guns, Rice, Worthy, Kelsey, Hollywood, you come out and you do that. So I do. I think you bump our second year tackle that we drafted last year, Kingsley Suamataia, into left guard. Simmons at the left tackle spot. Of course, we know what we just re-signed Trey Smith and Creed Humphrey. We extended Trey Smith, and then you've got Jalen Moore on the right side. So they have to answer your question in short, they have to. Pacheco's got to get going this year. That's an interesting draft pick we got as well. The running back out of Rice, actually, pass catching, was a receiver down at the University of Miami for 3 years, transferred to SMU and was their running back. Quietly was one of the best backs in the country this past year. So I think there's a big emphasis, and Andy Reid knows, hey, we've got to get that screen game going again. We've got to get those guys, between the tackles. I wanted to ask you too, Xavier, you know, is if the Chiefs don't get the offensive line fixed, or let's say Simmons is a letdown, what have you, is Mahomes sort of entering his LeBron James and Cleveland era 1.0? Like he's carrying too much of the load. Can Mahomes continue with the revolving offensive line to get this team to the Super Bowl, to AFC championships, etc.? Also consider the landscape of the AFC. Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, the AFC West getting better.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, he's proved it time and time again. They're at the end of the season, though. All the last 8 years, the Chiefs have been one of the teams to see at the end of the season. You know what I'm saying? Or
Yeah.
when the season is over. He's going to continue to be great. He's still in his prime. I would say he has at least another 3 to 5 years in his prime. You know what I mean? Because now quarterbacks are playing to their 40 years old. I don't know how old Patrick Mahomes is. Is he 30 yet? 31, 32, somewhere up in
Getting
there?
ready to turn 30.
He getting ready to turn 30, so he definitely has a guaranteed 5 years left of just greatness in him. So yeah, I definitely think even with the shuffling of the offensive line, at some point it'll get right. I'm almost sure that that'll be Andy Reid's not his number one focus, but it'll be a good solid focus for him to make sure that Patrick Mahomes is protected. But when you look at Patrick Mahomes play, even when he's not protected, he still has quick feet. He still knows how to move out of the pocket. And a lot of his big plays is him extending the play.
Yeah.
When you think the play is over or he's about to get grabbed, sacked, or you know what I mean, he makes a big play. So yeah, I think the Chiefs out of the AFC will still be one of the teams that we see at the end of the season. And Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, and Justin Herbert. I think the Broncos will probably be. I think the Broncos will actually surpass Baltimore, the Bengals,
Wow.
yeah, yeah, I can see that because I just don't see Lamar ever getting over that hump. I don't
Yeah.
see Joe Burrow ever getting over that hump. Made the Super Bowl once, haven't gotten close since. But as far as Patrick Mahomes going, the Chiefs, yeah, they're gonna make it to the end almost every single year as long as Patrick Mahomes is healthy. And then I
Yeah.
was watching a few highlights of training camp. You got Kelsey back with a new haircut. Patrick got a new haircut. I mean, everybody looking good. Chris Jones looking good. Everybody. Nick Bolton walking out on the field. Look, Xavier Worthy is all hyped up. They got
Yeah.
Rasheed Rice back. It's yeah, man. The Chiefs are they're gonna be the Chiefs as long as Patrick Mahomes is healthy for sure.
Yeah, man. I guess the better comparison would really kind of be like an Aaron Rodgers. In Green Bay, after he won that Super Bowl, they said, hey, he's an otherworldly quarterback. Let's put everything on his shoulders. But, to your point, I think as long as you have Andy Reid, Veach has clearly done a great job of putting talent around Mahomes. It's just really health and different things like that. I just fear that these other teams are catching up in other ways, whether it be coaching, skill position, physicality, getting quarterbacks that can compete decently with Mahomes. That if we don't get it fixed now, some of these other teams, particularly in the AFC West, are closing that gap. But yeah, that's what I like out of the Chiefs. Training camp. I think once again everything's looked good. It looks like Patrick has connected with Xavier Worthy on a couple of long balls. He's connected with Rashi Rice on some things, and Real quick about the suspension, it was reported on that Rashi Rice will receive 5 years of probation and 30 days of jail time. Andy Reid has come out and said they will proceed. Yeah, they will proceed normally with him. There's nothing been handed down by the NFL as of this recording now. And so obviously it sounds like maybe a 4 to 6 to 8 game, I would assume. Maybe he appeals and gets a couple of games off.
But I
But you
wonder
have to,
this though. I wonder this though. You said 30 days in jail, right?
correct. He can serve.
So,
They'll be
but
the report, according to the report on ESPN. According to the report, it said that they will be the court and the judge will be lenient on when he serves that jail time. So maybe he could serve
oh,
it before the season, maybe he could serve it after the season, what have you. But either way, the NFL is still going to suspend, right? You're still going
I'm thinking in my mind, if he has to serve 30 days, let's just say they decide that 30 days start in September,
to, sure,
and then the NFL hands down the suspension of like 4 or 5 games.
yeah,
Is it like, is his suspension while he's in jail? Is
yeah,
that
no,
fair to everybody else, or will everything has to happen on separate times? You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like
My assumption,
he let's say he gets suspended 5 games, right? Then at the
yeah.
end of the season he goes to jail for 30 days. Like what? How does that work? That's what
Yeah,
I'm
I
wondering.
think that's my assumption is that, like I said, the exact word they used was leniency. And I quote the report that was reported the other day by ESPN. And I think what that means is obviously he'll serve some suspension this year from the NFL and miss some games, but then probably after the season. This is speculation, by the way. But my assumption would be that after the season, at some point in the offseason, he serves whatever time he has
If
basically.
it were me, I would take the suspension for the first 5 games, then I would secretly go to jail because once you're suspended, you can't report to the facility anyway.
Yeah.
Let's
Yep.
go ahead and get this 30 days over with. You know what I'm
And
saying?
it
That
might
if it
be,
were me, that's what I would do while the suspension's going on.
yeah.
So that way at the end of the year, people thinking that, oh, I'm gonna be in jail. I'm not. I done already did it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Hey, look,
that's just me.
yeah, I know. A lot of relatability here on the Heartland Huddle podcast. No kidding. Once again, this is the Heartland Huddle podcast, Chiefs, Lions, and NFL talk. You can catch us every Wednesday on our YouTube channel and Spotify. You can search us at Heartland NFL Talk on YouTube and Heartland Huddle on Spotify. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. Show love. We've got a lot of fun content and stuff coming up for this upcoming football season. So, okay, to turn the tables, because I like where the Chiefs are at. Big news is that offensive line, and where does that go from here? And I think we're going to answer the bell. Overall, I wanted to switch gears here, Xavier. Uh, let me just ask you this right out the gate. If Detroit's, because let me give you some context. Detroit's offensive line has had some movement this year.
Yeah.
Who was it that was it Ragnow who retired?
Yeah.
Ragnow retires. You guys draft Tate Ratledge, the rookie here this year, and then you've got
Yeah.
some Zeitler also left too, right?
Yeah. And free agency. Yeah. They didn't resign him. I don't know why. But
Zeitler
yeah.
also left in free agency, so you got two open spots. You draft a rookie, and you're going to have to shuffle. So let me throw this at you, Xavier. If Detroit's interior offensive line falters this year, are they
I don't
still
think it
going to be
will.
the bully that they have been, or are they just going to kind of be a finesse contender that tries to do it with skill guys?
They're going to need both, but I don't think they'll fold in any kind of way because Graham Glasgow has filled in for Frank Ragnow, and it was like the offense didn't miss a beat. Not to say that Graham Glasgow is as good as Frank Ragnow, but he is good and great at the center position. He does already have that connection with Jared Goff, and as far as knowing the playbook already, so I don't think they'll miss it. It'll look different in so many ways, but Graham Glasgow can fill that role. And I was listening to Dan Campbell talk yesterday's press conference, I think it was, where he was saying that yeah, they're putting Ratledge in that center position, but we're gonna have Graham Glasgow in that position too, and kind of keep Ratledge in the right guard position, which lets me know
Yeah,
that he's not a solid fit for the center position yet.
yeah,
It's the NFL. Gotta learn, gotta build that rapport, gotta get that playbook down. And I think for the rookies, when especially for a center, timing is everything. Your biggest thing is timing. When does that ball get hiked every single play? And I
Yeah.
don't think he's gotten there yet. But Dan Campbell won't go into depth, but he'll let you know that that player is not ready yet. And when he said Graham Glasgow is going to be in that spot for now, I know for a fact that Rattler, he's just not ready yet. And that's fine. You know what I
Is
mean? You don't
well,
expect him to be.
well, yeah. By the way, is Tate Ratledge, is he signed yet? Last time I checked this week, he was still
Yeah,
unsigned.
he signed like a week ago.
Oh,
He
okay. So he
signed.
signed his rookie
Yeah,
deal.
he signed like a week ago. Yep, he signed his rookie deal. Yeah.
Okay, okay. But last time I had checked, he hadn't signed yet. But you
Yeah,
kind of
he
earned
signed.
for a rookie center to not sign his
Yeah, I think
rookie
all second
contract.
round picks have been signed. The only first round pick that hasn't been signed is was it a linebacker out of the Bengals, Cincinnati?
Yeah, Shamar
Uh,
Stewart, but he's now
yeah, I
signed. They
think
gave
he's
him
the only person that hasn't signed. Yeah.
yeah, they gave him 18.9 million. So,
Oh, he's signed.
but
Okay, good, good, good.
yeah, yeah. So no, I completely agree with you. I think because the identity that Dan Campbell's built there in Detroit over the last 4 years, I think because of a lot of the continuity that Detroit's had, especially now at the skill position, JMO, Amon Ra, Gibbs, Montgomery, Goff, obviously as your leader. Just, I know that they play some big boys in that NFC North division, and I know that there's a lot of they play some boys, and that
They
NFC
do.
you got some teams like the Eagles. You got some teams, like that. The Commanders are better on the defensive front. So
Yeah,
I just it's one of those things. We know that Jared Goff. My thing is that Jared Goff's not the most mobile quarterback, and he's a rhythm and a timing passer, which he's great at. When that offensive line has held up, so I'm curious to
yeah,
see how they do shuffle that offensive line and how they gel together early on
yeah,
because looking at your guys' schedules, in Lambeau week 1, you've got the Bears, you've got the Chiefs week 6. There's not a whole lot of time to sit there and, you know, beat around the bush when it comes to the offensive line. And we all know
yeah,
Detroit's been the bullies in running the football the last 3 years between Gibbs.
yeah.
That's what they do. That
And
is their identity.
I believe they still will. You know,
Yeah, I do too.
I believe they still will. I agree with you as far as scheduling and Green Bay, Chicago, all of that or whatever. You know, we're still the number one team in the NFC North, no matter what. You know, until it's taken from us, we're still top two team in the NFC. You know what I mean? I don't know if it's 1A, 1B with Philly. Of course, we got to give it to Philly. They just won a Super Bowl out of the NFC. So, um, but yeah, I don't see it falling off a lot because you do have two elite running backs. You have an elite quarterback. He may not be Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson status, but he is a hell of a pocket passer when he's protected. And I want to say he had the best passer rating in the league last year. So and he's labeled out of ESPN as a top 10 quarterback. So they
Well, who are
good.
we
They'll
talking?
be
Who
all
are we
right.
talking to? Cam Newton or Stephen A. Smith? No, but
Yeah,
just the
you ain't
whole
lying.
Jalen Hurts. No, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
the
yeah.
other
That's crazy.
well, and speaking of continuity and speaking of Jared Goff being there the last 4 years, I think that's the other big storyline coming out of camp, and we've known it since post Super Bowl, really post the Lions loss in that divisional round, the turnover at the two coordinator spots. For everybody who doesn't know, who may know, just a reminder: Ben Johnson, the offensive coordinator the last 3 years, who has had the number one or a top five offense Detroit has had. He goes to the Chicago Bears to be the head coach. And then, of course, Aaron Glenn, the new head coach of the New York Football Jets. And so you sit here and you've got two new offensive coordinators. On the defensive side, it's former linebackers coach Kelvin Shepard, so they hired internally. And then, of course, it is John Morton, the new offensive coordinator, who has worked with Dan Campbell and the Lions in the past. The last 2 seasons, he's been the passing coordinator for Sean Payton and the Denver Broncos, and now he comes full time OC into the offensive coordinator role for Detroit. So I think that's the other big takeaway. How do you think Detroit's going to adapt to two new coordinators?
I think they'll adapt great, especially on the defense side of the ball with Shep because he's been there already. He's been there every step of the way, running behind
Kelvin
Aaron
Shepard.
Glenn. So
Kelvin
yeah,
Shepard.
Kelvin Shepard. I call
Yeah.
him Shep. His
Yeah,
nickname
yeah,
is
yeah.
Coach Shep. But
Sure.
yeah, he's been there every step of the way. And from what I'm hearing, he got them boys working. He's highly respected. He's loved. They, what I'm hearing, they looking better right now. From what I'm hearing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then on the offensive side of the ball, a lot's not changing. with Johnny Morton, he even said, I'm not going to change a lot of things. I may change the language, and he's given JMO a bigger route tree. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's not going to just be that deep threat. He's going to actually be, crisp and running routes like a number two wide receiver should. So I think that, it may look slightly different because Ben Johnson's not there, and that's okay. But at the same time, like Jared Goff said, he's able to let him know what he can and can't do and what he will and won't do. He's experienced. He's almost 10 years in the game. You can take his, you know what I'm saying, his word. You can accept his word as being a, you know what I mean, a top tier quarterback in the game. So I don't see it changing a whole lot. I think there's still going to be a top five offense, maybe top three. We don't know. We'll see how the first quarter of the season looks.
Yeah.
But I don't think it'll change that much with the new coordinators. But I do agree. Some teams fall all the way off. And when you look at a Jalen Hurts, 4 coordinators in 4 years, that's tough. You got to learn a new offense every year. So shout out to Jalen Hurts for getting the Super Bowl out of that 4 years too. Actually, that was their second time going to the Super Bowl, right? In 4 years. Yeah, and still got a Super Bowl out of it. So, but every team is different. Every team has their negatives and their positives. But as far as the Lions go, I don't think it'll look that much different. I think they'll still hit the ground running where they left off. That's what I believe. And hopefully, just hopefully, the defense can stand up a lot longer than they did last season, as far as injuries go.
Well, and that was going to be my exact point. That's a good segue. Is that I think internally, I do think Kelvin Shepard's going to do a good job, and I think he's learned a lot under Aaron Glenn. And as we all know, I mean, Detroit was playing guys on the defensive side of the ball that had been sitting on their couch the week before, right? By the time they got to the playoffs,
Mm,
so we understand injuries was a
kind of
huge
hard to win.
factor. Yeah, the most notably, of
Mm,
course, Aiden Hutchinson. That's another storyline. He's looked good in camp so far. He's been a full
yes, he
participant.
has.
Coming off
Yes,
of
he
that
has.
Yep. Coming off of that gruesome leg injury, I know you're excited for him, but yeah, I think just getting the guys back healthy, I think getting some continuity there, and then Kelvin Shepard's voice, I'm excited for the defense, and I think if your guys' defensive line can take the next step with Hutchinson back, and who did you guys draft? Your rookie defensive tackle?
Tyleek.
Tyleek
Tyleek
Williams
Williams.
out of Ohio State, I believe, right?
Yep. And Aiden
Um,
Hutchinson spoke very, very highly of him. Very,
Yeah,
very
and
highly of him.
I think if he can even be a good rookie rotational guy that comes in and plays well next to Hutch, we know what the
Hmm.
back end is like with Kirby Joseph, Brian Branch. Terry and
Yeah.
Arnold should be taking the leap coming into year two. I quietly think Detroit's defense, barring any health concerns, can be a top 10, 12 unit, which
I'm gonna go and jump out on a limb. I think we'll have top three secondary in the league.
yeah, I think
That's
it's
what I
very
think.
reasonable to expect that. Now, hopping over to the offensive side of the ball, once again, it is going to depend on that interior offensive line. Clearly,
Hmm.
John Morton's going to still want to run the football. That's your bread and butter. Dan Campbell's not going to let him do anything different, right? I mean, you
Nope.
got the most electric offensive player in football in Jameer Gibbs,
Yep.
outside of maybe Barkley, Bijan, some of those guys, but Jameer Gibbs is
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah.
And I think JMO is poised. Like you said, he's going to be running the entire route tree. It sounds like he has an expanded role this year in the Lions
He does.
offense. I'm excited for it all. It really comes down to how well that offensive line can sort of gel. Um, and so I think, those are the takeaways out of the Lions and the Chiefs camp. I really, really like where we're at. On both teams' front, I think it's going to be another successful year for both teams. But Xavier, really quick, I did want to get into because it is the Chiefs, Lions, and NFL talk. I wanted to go around just really quick and kind of pick your brain,
Uh-huh.
and of course reintroduce our End Zone Insight segment, brought to you
Yes,
by
sir.
nobody. Our End Zone Insight segment, for those of you who don't know, it's where we go through all of the NFL and we kind of take some of the storylines and we make sure we're touching on some of those too, because our motto here on the Heartland Huddle podcast is to debate loud and rep proud, whomever which team that you enjoy or you follow. So, kind of the big storyline too out of camps: who's going to win some of those rookie QB battles? Some of the ones that I had notated: Will Levis goes down with surgery, and so Cam Ward. Quick thought on what we think Ward looks like, and thoughts out of
Cam
there.
Ward, automatic starter. He's not competing with anybody. I think
Yep.
for the coaching staff, quarterback coach, offense coordinator, is just getting him where they feel he should be by week one. That's
Yeah.
all you can really get out of that is making sure he's up to NFL speed. He has a rapport with his receivers. His offensive line is good. His running back, everybody just they can get them all on the same page. Everybody join together to make sure he can be as great as he can be. That's Cam Ward's team. I'm interested to see how he looks. So I think that yeah, he has no competition. It's just him. Focus, learn them plays, and let us see that you're that guy. Number one
Yeah.
overall pick. Let us see it. You know what I mean? And I think he'll work out in Tennessee because Tennessee was bad for a while, you know, since the
Yeah, and I
Derrick
like
Henry
their head
days. But
coach Callahan. I think he's quietly going to
yeah,
do some better quarterback play as well. Now,
yeah,
when I was notating some of the different quarterback battles in camp, one of them was I had, of course, the New York Giants. However, Russell Wilson has been named the starter. We all assumed
of
he's been
course,
named the
yeah,
starter by Brian Dable. But then behind him, you got Jameis Winston and Jackson Dart, the rookie. So we'll see kind of how that depth chart fills out. But that kind of took some of the air out of the sails. Russell Wilson has been named the day one starter there
yeah.
in New
Kind of hard to
York.
beat Russell Wilson.
Yeah, I mean,
He got too much experience.
we all know about Russ. The big one,
Yeah.
Cleveland. Big
Yes.
quarterback room here. We've got the veteran
Yes.
Joe Flacco, Dylan Gabriel, the rookie, obviously Shador Sanders, the rookie. Then, of course, sneakily you got Kenny Pickett there as well too. Flacco, Gabriel, Shador Sanders, and Kenny Pickett. So you got a journeyman in Flacco and a previous Super Bowl winner, two rookies, and a guy who's already on his third or fourth team in his third year of the NFL.
Uh, um,
What does that depth chart look like to you? And do any of the rookies have even a remote chance of maybe starting?
I think so. Let's just cancel Joe
Wow,
Flacco out. Joe Flacco, let's just
really?
take him off the board. Yeah, take him off the board.
I think
I
he's the
think that
starter.
no, he won't be the starter. They know better than to let him start. They're not going to let him start. I understand he made
After 2 years ago, when Watson got hurt and he went 4-1, led him to the playoffs.
that's 2 years ago. That's not 2025, 2026 season. Uh,
Okay.
I would say it'll be between Shador and Kenny Pickett. That's what I
Really?
think. That's what I think. But from what I hear, Shador Sanders, he's been mistake free when it come to that field and having that rapport with his wide receivers. I think he works with the twos and the threes. I don't know if he's worked with the ones a lot yet, but I haven't got a lot of information out of Cleveland. I actually said when he first got drafted that he'll be Cleveland's starter. Just think about this. He has the number one selling jersey on the Cleveland Browns.
What? How is that? Who cares? How is that relevant to him starting NFL football games?
It doesn't, but what I'm saying is they're gonna push him to the front of the line. I think they are.
I don't
That's what
think
I
so.
think.
I
You
don't
don't
think
think
so.
so? So
I think
who's your starter then, Eric? Who's better than Shador on that offense?
Joe
Please don't say
Flacco,
Joe Flacco.
Kenny
All
Pickett.
right.
As of right now, Kenny Pickett is a better
That's why I
NFL
said it'll
quarterback.
be between him and or Kenny Pickett, because Kenny Pickett has that experience.
But don't say no. I think Joe Flacco is going to be the starter. Clearly, I think Joe
I hope
Flacco.
not.
Yes,
I'm
I.
praying. Soon as we get off of this, I'm praying that he doesn't.
They're praying
That's a
for me
terrible
too.
idea. Because at the same time, I understand it's football. You want to win games. It's still about the money. It's gonna always be a. Nobody wants to see Joe Flacco. Cleveland don't even want to see Joe Flacco. They don't. Ask a
I think
Cleveland
that's
fan. I
why they brought him
guarantee you.
back.
But that they didn't bring him back because of the fans.
No, I understand that. But to your point, yes, your job is to win football games. And Joe Flacco, being the journeyman that he is, he's proven he can do that everywhere he's went to
Let
some
me
degree.
let me ask you this: are they giving Deshaun Watson a chance
Deshaun
at
Watson's
all?
hurt. He re-injured his Achilles. He's hurt.
Oh, did he really? I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
he's most
I didn't know
likely
that.
out for the season. Most likely.
He's
That's
out for the rest of
speculation.
his career. If he's out for the season, he's
Yeah,
out for the rest of his career.
and if you remember, Cleveland had that big insurance policy on that fully guaranteed $250 million deal they gave him. So
Yeah, yeah.
they're in recoup
Yeah,
mode
he's still
right now.
filthy rich. He might as well just give it up. Just let it go. Yeah,
But no.
just
So
let it go.
no, I think it's interesting. I've heard the reports you have. Shador Sanders, I think he does. He takes care of the ball. His big thing coming out of college was taking sacks, holding on to it a little bit, things like that. But in terms of making the throws, he knows the offense, he knows the playbook. He's a smart kid. I agree with you, and I think he makes the team. But Xavier, there's a real difference between the hype and playing mistake-free football in training camp versus TJ Watt breathing down your neck versus Trey Hendrickson breathing down your neck versus
So
Patrick Queen and who's the other linebacker?
that
What?
can't be the excuse, and I'm gonna tell you why.
No, no, no. It's not an excuse.
They breathe down every quarterback's neck that they
Yes.
play.
Yeah,
So what? Yeah,
but
he had a problem with getting sacks. He had the worst offensive line in college football. Of course, he took a lot of sacks. But the great thing is, he still finished the season and he got up every single time. So they breathe down
okay.
everybody's neck. That doesn't matter. Can the boy play and can he keep up with this NFL speed? I think he can. He has enough experience
I'm
to.
not saying that he can't. I'm not saying not yet. That's what you're what's wrong. That's why if you and I were two NFL GMs or coaches, you would always lose to my team. Why? Because
No, I
you get a
wouldn't.
wild
No, I
hair up
wouldn't.
your
No,
rear
I
end
wouldn't.
and you want to
No,
throw
I
Shador
wouldn't.
Sanders out there in the AFC North.
It's not throwing him out there. They're building him up to that point.
In
That's
3
why
weeks,
he's in camp.
Xavier, 3 weeks is not enough
It
for
hasn't been 3 weeks. He's been there since April. What do you mean?
yeah, for 3 days of OTAs and 3 days of minicamp?
So what? He has 3 preseason games. He's gonna play. He's gonna get some playing time. We'll get to see it with our own eyes here in a couple of
Okay.
weeks. It's okay.
Okay.
What do you think? He's just gonna be terrible and not good
No,
enough to
no,
start
no,
at
no, no,
all?
no. I think
Okay,
he
so what are
needs.
you saying?
I think he needs to be a third string backup this year. I
Third?
yes, because I think Kenny Pickett right now is a
Only because he has the experience?
yes, literally yes,
Nah.
yes. And Joe
Nope.
Flacco clearly has. I'm not saying Joe Flacco's good. I'm not saying Joe Flacco's
He's
the answer.
not.
I'm not saying Kenny Pickett's the answer. But what I'm saying is,
He's
if
not.
you're the Cleveland Browns, you're not winning the Super Bowl this year. I think you
Of
have
course
Shador
not.
Sanders, who has held the football in college. That is a completely different game than what is he getting ready to enter into. And we've seen
I
way better,
understand
more
that.
talented rookie quarterbacks struggle. And good, look at Caleb Williams. Is Caleb Williams more talented than Shador Sanders? I would say so.
He could be, but from what I'm
Could
hearing coming
be.
out of Chicago, him and
Could
Ben
be. He
Johnson,
is. And we've seen him struggle. We've seen high level rookie
he's
QB
still
struggle.
struggling. He's still struggling from what
Not
I
with
heard.
apparently not with your boy Ben Johnson.
No, that's what I'm saying that I heard. Ben Johnson has had
He's coaching him hard.
matches
He's
with this
coaching him hard.
quarterback.
He's
I
coaching him hard.
understand, as he should.
Yeah.
As he should. They won't beat the Lions this season, guaranteed. But back to
Okay.
Jador Sanders. I'm not gonna say he's gonna start week 1, but I think he'll be a starter by mid-season. I'll give him that.
Okay. All I'm saying, I'm not saying Shador is bad. I'm not saying he can't play in the NFL or he
And I
should make a team.
understand, but I also understand what you're saying. You don't just bring a rookie in and throw him in and start it. I mean, it happens with some rookies. It doesn't
Yeah,
happen with all of them, but it happens with some.
and they get beat to crap and they don't win
So,
anything and it can destroy
so,
their confidence, Xavier. It
so
can destroy
his
their
confidence won't
confidence.
get destroyed. He got beat to crap in college. Did he
But he
take
was
like
still
40
able to
something
win
sacks?
games. He was still able to win games, and his dad was the coach, and he was playing with Travis Hunter. That's what I'm trying to tell
So,
you.
so,
What do you mean so? That's a huge
who does
help.
he
He
have in
doesn't have that in
Cleveland?
Cleveland.
Who
He
does he
doesn't
have
have
in
that.
Cleveland? Who's the
Jerry
top wide
Judy?
receiver in Cleveland?
Jerry Judy?
Jerry Judy is okay. Who else?
All right, exactly. Travis Hunter's
Who else?
elite. That's what. Anyway. No, it's
So
fine.
what? So then, listen, we could talk about Jador Sanders all day long. I'm gonna say he's gonna be week 1 starter now.
Okay,
That's
that's a bold
that's
take. You
I
you heard
know
it
it
here
ain't. It could
first.
be bold or unbold. It don't matter. I
Okay,
said it
well,
soon as he got drafted that he was gonna start over everybody because
okay,
he has the mindset, he has the skill set, he has everything. He's gonna start, guaranteed.
okay. Well, you heard
Yep.
it here first, guys, on Heartland
Yep.
Huddle, the
Joe
Chiefs, Lions,
Flacco
and
won't
NFL
even be
Talk.
on the team.
Okay,
He won't
I
even be on the team
well,
at
looking
all,
at
period.
contractually, I think he will, but okay,
They don't care about that contract. They pay people to not be on the team all the time. Look at
okay.
what's the guy name from quarterbacks?
Don't say Kirk
Kirk.
Cousins. That's not the
Kirk
same type of
Cousins.
situation.
Is I know it's not, but he's making $27 million this year to not play.
Yeah,
Now.
to be
So
the
they waste
backup.
money on players all the time.
Yes, but I think
Eh,
I think Joe Flacco. Okay, so we have your take. You think Shador Sanders is going to start Week 1 for
Yep.
Cleveland, his
And
rookie
if you
year.
telling me Joe Flacco want to start, I don't want to hear your take. I
I
don't care nothing about no Joe Flacco at all. Period. Not even a
No, no,
little
no.
bit.
I think the depth chart. I'm just giving you my take. I think the depth chart
Uh
is going to go Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, and Shador Sanders out of starting Week 1 of the NFL
But
season,
see,
and
you're
we can
just
leave it right
basing
there.
it off experience. You're not basing it off of what's actually happening with the team right now. Is that what you're basing it off of?
Yeah, what I know is happening with the team is they brought Joe Flacco back to stabilize the quarterback position. They also brought in 2 rookies and a Kenny Pickett journeyman kid to come in and compete for the backup spot. So they have options in Cleveland. That's all.
No.
If Deshaun Watson
That's
was healthy, we wouldn't even be having this conversation.
that sounds
It
like a
is
bad
literally a
general manager
stopgap.
to me. That
Do you
sounds
not
like a
take his
bad, scary general manager to me who's gonna lose his job after this year. That's what that sounds like to
and
me.
that's fine. All I'm saying is
Because
that
what general manager has ever brought in 5 quarterbacks?
yeah, a lot. And then,
5.
and then they cut roster cuts, they get it down to 3. A lot
Listen,
of
man.
people bring in a lot of people for camp. You can bring in 100 guys to camp or 90, or I forget the exact number, actually.
It's 90, 90. I know it's
90,
90.
something like that. So
Yep.
all I'm saying, he's just going to compete for a backup position.
No, he's not.
Okay. Well,
He's gonna be the starter.
we've
He's gonna
never
be the
seen
starter, Eric.
we've never seen Shador Sanders play an NFL snap. We've seen Joe Flacco win a Super
So,
Bowl. That's all I'm
so,
saying.
so that was 15 years ago.
Okay, but what Shador
So,
Sanders? We've never seen Shador.
so,
My eyes. I watched the games. Xavier.
so, so.
At last point here. I love it. We're hyped up, guys. We are hyped up for the NFL football season. We
What's
can't
the
wait. We're
what's the
sitting here
next
end of
question,
July.
man?
It's time to go. Last point here, Xavier. We were trying to think of this the other day when we were talking in the car. Who is the dang backup in Indianapolis? And so, of course, I checked it real quick.
Hmm.
Daniel Jones, and Anthony Richardson are
Daniel
the
Jones the backup. Daniel
yeah.
Jones
So
is the
yeah. So
backup. Yeah.
who do you like in that? It is a wide open battle. The head coach Steichen said, "Hey, it is a wide open battle." Who do you like there in Indy?
I still like Richardson.
Ooh,
And when you look at him, when you look at his flaws, I think his biggest flaw is his footwork. He's had that problem in college and he brought that same problem to the NFL. And it seems to me that nobody has caught it, or maybe they have, and he just hasn't fixed it yet. Like he can't train
yeah,
his brain to fix his footwork because if you notice, when his feet's not planted right, he throws the ball all over the place. But when he's able to set his feet on every single throw, he throws the perfect ball every single time. But
yeah.
if he could just get his footwork right and don't think so fast to run the ball, he'll be okay. That's my take on Anthony Richardson. But I think he'll still be the starter, though.
I think that Daniel Jones starts out of camp, but I think Anthony Richardson takes over midseason or so, or bye week, or whatever that sort of looks like. And the reason why I say that, gosh, for fantasy purposes, I've got Michael Pittman on my team, and he suffers so bad from inadequate quarterback play. If he could get some, I
Yeah,
mean, think of the
I
offense.
agree.
You've got a heck of an offensive line. You've got Jonathan Taylor, who's ready to explode on the second year
Mhm.
of his 4-year deal.
Yeah.
Can't be one of the best running backs in the league. You've got Michael Pittman on the outside. You've got the other rookie wide receiver. Is it Pierce? I think it was Josh Pierce or somebody who was a rookie
Mhm.
last year who had a great rookie season on the other
Mhm.
outside. Your defense is coming together. Absolutely no reason that the Houston Texans lose 4 out of their last 5 ball games last year. And Indy, you can't jump them to get into the playoffs. That is quarterback
Yeah.
and coaching play. And
Yeah.
for me, Anthony Richardson, it's now or never, bud. you're going into your third year. But I think a Daniel Jones, and I'm not a fan of Daniel Jones. I don't think Daniel Jones is a great quarter. It's none of that. But I
He's
think
not.
he's been a tumult. He's serviceable, and he does still have some mobility, and he's been in a
Yeah,
tumultuous situation in New York with the Giants.
I agree with that. I
And
agree with
so
that.
I think he can stabilize and maybe win some of those games where Anthony Richardson, to your point, has some bad footwork, maybe throws a pick late, things like that. So I think Daniel Jones, and I think the Colts really want to continue to season him. So I think Jones starts out of camp, and I think Anthony Richardson comes in at some point during the season.
Yeah.
Is my take on it.
Yeah, that should I hope that doesn't happen. I mean, you drafted the guy. I know a lot of times they don't mind putting their energy and time and wisdom into the quarterbacks, and sometimes they give up, and I think he needs to understand that and understand that you didn't play a lot of college football and you still got drafted in the first round. So,
Yeah,
and I think if he could just keep that in the back of his mind and really find somebody during the offseason, which I'm sure he did, who can help him work on his craft and really get it and get it embedded in his mind and be able to bring it out physically, I think he could be in Indy for a long time. But it's solely up to him, though. That's what I believe.
yeah. I think we can
So
wrap there, brother. I love it. Like I said, huddlers, if you're still listening to us, you are now a part of the Heartland Huddle. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Follow us on season. All season, excuse me. We're extremely excited. You can actually check out our merchandise. We're launching our debate collection here late August, right before the season. So keep an eye on our channel for that merchandise drop. You can check out our link in the bio. I will include that in all of our episodes in the bio and in the description as well. So huddlers, stick with us all season. We're excited. This was our training camp, kind of mid off season episode, and we are so excited to get rolling with you guys. Once again, this is the Heartland Huddle, Chiefs, Lions, and NFL talk. Like and subscribe. Catch us every Wednesday on our YouTube channel and Spotify. All right, man.
peace.